E.N.D here, day 3 for the spoilers of Duskmourn House of Horror. Leave me a comment, would you have more chance to survive on Duskmourn or Innistrad? Both planes are scary. Anyway, let's start. And I want to start as always with the most important cards, the mythic cards. Overlord of the Boiler Bulges, 4 and 2 red, 5/5 with impending 4 for 2 and 2 red. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. Any target. Meathook Massacre 2. Meathook Massacre is back. XX and 4 black. Legendary enchantment. Enters the battlefield. Each player sacrifices X creatures. Whenever a creature control dies, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return that card under your control with a penalty counter on it. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, return that card under your control with a penalty counter on it. Nico Light of Hope, 2 1 white and 1 blue, 3/4, enters the battlefield, create 2 shards token, 2, tap, exile target non-legendary creature you control, shards you control becomes copy of it until the beginning of the next end step, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Overlord of the Flat Pits, 3 and 2 blue, 5/3 with flying, impending 4 for 1 and 2 blue, enters the battlefield or attacks, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Central Elevator and Promising Stairs, an enchantment room. Central Elevator, 3 and 1 blue. When you unlock this door, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Promising Stairs, 2 and 1 blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. Grievous Wound, 3 and 2 black, enchantment aura, enchanted player can gain life. Whenever enchanted player is dealt damage, they lose half their life, rounded up. It's a scary enchantment. Leyline of the Void, yes, Leyline of the Void will be reprinted in Duskmourn, 2 and 2 black, enchantment. If it is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Leyline of Resonance, it seems that a new cycle of Leylines will be reprinted in the set. 2 and 2 red, enchantment. If it's on your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you control, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Victor Valgavottsen for 1 1 white and 1 black, 3/3 with Airy. Whenever an enchantment you control enters the battlefield and whenever you fully unlock a room, surveil 2. If this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn. If it's the second time, each opponent discard a card. If it's the third time, put a creature card from a graveyard, onto the battlefield under your control. Duskmourn Weaver, 2 1 black and 1 green, 2/3, enters the battlefield, create 2 1 1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying. Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and have that touch. Undead Sprinter, 1 black and 1 red, 2/2, trample haste. You may cast it from your graveyard if a non-zombie creature died this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Ghost Vacuum, for 1 generic mana, artifact, tap, exile target card from a graveyard, 6, tap, sacrifice it, put each creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. Each of them is a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other types, activate only as a sorcery. The Land Cycle, 5 rare lands that can tap for 1 color and can also tap for another color as long as you control a land type of those 2 colors. Shard Mage Rescue, for 1 white, enchantment aura, flash, enchant creature control. As long as it enters this turn, enchanted creature has hexproof. Enchanted creature get +1/+1. Ethereal Armor, for 1 white, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature get +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has fair strike. Valgavott's Faithful, for 1 black, 1/1, 3 and 1 black, sacrifice it, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. Pyroclasm, for 1 and 1 red, it deals 2 damage to each creature. Infernal Phantom, 3 and 1 red, 2/3 with Airy. Whenever an enchantment you control enters the battlefield and whenever you fully unlock a room, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Altanag the Thrice Called, 5 and 2 green, 9/9 with trample. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. For 1 and 1 green, discard it, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Inquisitive Glimmer, for 1 white and 1 blue. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 generic mana less to cast. unlock cost you pay cost 1 generic mana less. Drag to the roots, 2/1 black and 1 green, instant, delirium. The spell costs 2 less to cast as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Destroy target non-land permanent. Acrobatic Cheerleader. What a cheerleader is doing on Duskmourn, I don't know. For 1 and 1 white 2/2 with survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it is tapped, put a flying counter on it. This ability triggers only once. Shepherding Spirits 4 and white 4/5 with flying. Plains cycling for 2 generic mana. Piranha Fly 1 and 1 blue 2/1 with flying, enters the battlefield tap, stay hidden, stay silent 1 and 1 blue, enchantment aura, enchant creature, enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, 4 and 2 blue, shuffle enchanted creature into its owner's library, then manifest it, activate only as a sorcery. Fanatic of the Harrowing 3 and 1 black 2/2 enters the battlefield. Each player discard a card. If you discard the card this way, draw a card. Turn inside out for 1 red instant. Target creature get +3/+0 until end of turn. When it dies, manifest red. Clockwork Percussionist for 1 red 1/1. Haste. When it dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. Slithering Branch Snapper 4 and 2 green 7/6 with trample, forest liking for 2 generic mana, Grasping Longneck 2 and 1 green 4/2 with reach, when it dies you gain 2 life. Last but not least, special guest, Hallowed Haunting, Soul Warden, Sacrifice, Maddening Hex, Unholy Heat and Noxious Revival. So that was the last card in this particular day 3 for the spoilers of Duskmourn House of Horror. Join me again tomorrow for more and more spoilers regarding this terrifying set. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.